scratch. The story from the project, innocent black man. Let me be clear. Damn, man. The story from the project, innocent black man.
What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Small Account Challenge. Today is day number 110. Y'all, it was not a pretty sight. From the beginning, we was getting smacked down. It didn't matter what we did, the market went against us, even with the guardrails. We missed our entry, started chasing, and it would immediately go against us. When I checked the scoreboard, we was down to 1,970 something, no matter what it was. All I know, I called timeout. Coach reminded me, this is March Madness, and we're going to have to pull a Cinderella. And at the last second, we hit him with the buzzer beater, and we was able to pull out a Green Day. Now, I'm going to tell you exactly how we pulled it off. And today, midday, market recap. All right, y'all, let's go over the trades from this morning. It was not a pretty sight, like I said. We normally have 4 or 5 trades in the book. Today, it took 11 trades. Man, it was a tough one, but green is better than red. But man, it was tough today. All right. Listen, there wasn't a lot of momentum. And I told you my strategy is momentum. And when it ain't there, sometimes a little bit tougher. Let's pull the charts up. Our first trade of the day was on SPY to the downside at 933. All right. Here we go. The candle that closes at 930, which starts the market, is a green candle pushing up. But I don't think it's heavy because it's coming up to the moving average. At 933, the candle that opens up at 930 closes at 935. We jump into that bad boy 933 to the downside. We did not get filled. We missed our entry and it went up a little bit more. We finally moved our order up. Not a good idea because now we're chasing. We wanted to catch this downward wick, but we missed it, and it finally starts popping us up. And at 934, we had to get out on the guardrail, pop this out. First trade, first loss. You know I don't like that. It wasn't a big loss though. It wasn't a big loss because we kept it tight. But now, like you said, now I'm trading from a position of handicap. Our next trade was on SPY to the downside at 936. We lost on this one. Right, okay, cool. And look at this. The 935 candle, the one that closes at 940, is a red candle. How we lose? Again, we missed our entry. Okay, as the 935 candle closes, the 940 candle opens up, closes at 940. All right, cool. We jump into this at 936. This bad boy is up here. We want this to the downside. It flushes immediately. We jump in, think it's gonna push, continue to push, and what it does, it goes against us. We add at 937, trying to bring the cost basis down, but it's not enough. We got filled in here somewhere. And at 941, we had to get out with 2 contracts, and now we're down even more. So now we're down like $30-something. I'm like, all right, cool. All right, Mike, cool off. Remain, keep your composure. It ain't over yet. All right, cool. Our next trade was on SPY to the upside. Remember the last trade we got out at 941 and 11 seconds. This trade we jumped in 941 and 59 seconds. All right, cool. At the 935, 940 candle closes, the next one opens up. We jump into this 941 and 59 seconds. This bad boy's moving up. We jump in, it pushes up pretty fast. We jump in, and it starts to go against us. We add at 942. We hold it because we in the red right now. And it begins squeezing up. And on the very next candle, because now the thing that messed us up on this one is the thing I told you guys about, which is my Achilles heel. Which is when I'm in the red, I hold my trades too long because I'm trying to recover. Because we saw green about $15 on this bad boy. And at the next candle opens up, the bad boy flushed against us. So I get nervous because I moved the stop loss up and it popped us out for another loss. So now we down about $45, $50. Like, oh, here we go, man. I asked myself at that moment, I said, Mike, do you want to stop trading? Because you just lost 3 trades on SPY consecutively. I said, I'll try one more trade. If it's a loss, the day is over. we jump over into Meta. Let's pull Meta up. All right, let's pull Meta up. All right, cool. This one we jumped in on at 9.54. All right, cool. The candle that opens up 9.35 and closes at 9.40 is a red candle. You can see it smashed into the 200. It hit that 200, hit resistance, and came back down. But that wasn't our candle. The next candle was the 9.40, 9.45 candle. We got a green candle because it comes back down and begins to push back up. It runs back into what? The 200. Like I told you before, the 200 is a good level. And it's like what price action does. It moves away from it and comes back to it. Goes below it and comes back to it. That's why it's called the 200 day. It's the average price over the last 200 days. Anyway, this candle closes at 9.45. The next candle opens up 45, closes at 9.50. It's sitting on the moving average. It pushes down, becomes right back to the moving average. So then I noticed we got support now on the moving average. We're sitting on it. On the very next candle, the one that opens up 9.50, closes at 9.55. I want to make sure that it's going to hold. We jump in at 9.54, hold this all the way till it closes, and we get out at 9.59 for a win. On the next candle before it went against us, it was only $5, but I had to take it. It was a win, and because it was a win, I said I must got my composure. Let's keep rocking. Let's keep rocking. All right, cool. And here's when we start making our run. All right, the next trade was on SPY to the downside. All right, y'all, work with me. Here we go. Watch the comeback. It ain't pretty, but it is what it is. I know a lot of times the tendency is they try to win all your money back in one trade. And I remember Aristotle say sometimes you got to win your money back in increments. And that's what I did. Here we go. SPY at 10 o'clock to the downside. Okay, the candle that opens up 9.50, closes at 9.55 is a doji candle. All right, cool. As that bad boy closes, the next candle is also a doji candle. Opens up 55, closes at 10 o'clock, but we're sitting on the moving average. I went this to the downside because it looks like the bulls are trying to push it up, but the bears aren't letting them. That's why we got them doji candles, upper wicks. See them upper wicks right there? I showed on the chart there. All right, cool. We jump in at 10 o'clock on the next candle. It begins squeezing down, and we hold for 2 minutes, and we get out as it hits the moving average. And now we're starting to recover. Like I said, we was down pretty heavy. But, like I said, we ain't out the woods yet. On the next trade, we won on as well. We jumped in this one at 10.09 to the upside, right? 10.09? No, to the downside, excuse me. 10.09. As the 10.05 candle closes, I see we got some pressure. Opens up 10.05. It continues pushing down. I jump in 10.09 in 15 seconds. Get out 10.09 in 54 seconds. All right, cool. So we recovered some of the loss. Now we down like 40, but it's not enough. We still red. On the next trade, we lose on. This one really smacked us in the face. All right, SPY to the downside. I'm thinking now we're going to continue going down. On this next candle, which is the candle that opens up 10.10, closes at 10.15. We jump into this bad boy to the downside at 10.11. It opens up, remember, it opens up at 10.10. This bad boy goes in our favor a little bit. We get excited, but it's a lower wick. It pops up, and it pops up fast. And we go from only down 40 to down about $70 on that trade because I held hoping it would go in my favor, and we get out with the guardrails at 10.12. I'm like, man, listen. All right, cool. Might keep your composure. It ain't over. It's only the third quarter. All right. I start drawing up some plans. Here we go. The next trade, SPY to the downside at 10.14. All right, cool. As this candle is coming up to a close, I'm like, all right, cool. It's coming up to the moving average. I'm going to try to front run this. Front run means I jump into the candle in expectation of what's going to happen next. I was absolutely right. Ran into the moving average. We jumped in at 10.14. The candle closes. It hits the moving average. On the very next candle, on that downward pressure, even though it ultimately turned to a green candle, we had some downward pressure on that bad boy as it pushed down. We sold. All right, cool. It ain't over yet. All right. Here we go. We run back over the meta. Trying to get the win out. Like I said, it was a lot of trades today. This one we won on. Meta to the upside at 10.22. All right, cool. The candle that opens up at 10.15, closes at 10.20 is a green candle. I noticed we have support on the moving average. I like that. The next candle opens up and this a stronger candle. I jump in at 10.22, and you know that's about meta. Meta, if it starts going, can get you the gains fast. We hold this bad boy all the way to 10.27 on that upward pressure, and meta, it is on this trade. That helps us out quite a bit. We're down about 50 something dollars now. I said, all right, cool. What are we gonna do? Are we done trading? We was down almost 100. We only down 50. What are you gonna do? I say, Mike, stay focused. Like I said, it's the fourth quarter. Like I said, let's go, coach. All right, here we go. All right, on that meta play, we got out at 10.23. All right, then we head back over into SPY. Now it is this trade. This is the one that rescued us. Remember, we down about 50 bucks. All right, here we go. At 10.25, I'm watching. Here we go. The candle that opens up 10.15, closes at 10.20. That's a green candle. I'm watching. The next candle, the one that opens up at 10.20, closes at 10.25, is a green candle. It squeezes up to the what? The moving average. I jump into this, the very next candle at 10.27. All right, this candle opens up 10.25 and closes 10.30. I want this to the downside, so I'm watching this on the moving average. It goes in our favor a little bit. I add a contract. No, I'm sorry. We jumped in 10.25. I add a contract at 10.27. All right, cool. It's still going in our favor. I add 2 contracts at 10.29. The candle closes at 10.30. The very next candle, I say, if this bad boy goes against us, we're done for the day. It is what it is. It'll be a red day recap. It's sitting on the moving average. We sat there and watched this. We sat this, and at 10.31, I added another contract as it broke through the moving average at 10.31. So now I'm holding. That's our last trade. That's our last contract we added. And as this candle closes at 10.35, the next one opens up at 35, closes at 40 on that downward pressure. Woo, boy, this one right here saved us, got us all the way back down to about down 70 bucks on the day. 70 cents on the day, excuse me. I said, running down 70 cents, we'll take it, pretty much break even. But it's on the last trade that we was able to pull out the green one. Like I said, I took, here we go. Boom, 10.46 to the upside. I took small size, so if it go against me, it's going to be a $5 loss day. But it goes in my favor. The candle that, okay, the candle that opens up, hold on. All right, the candle that opens up at 10.45. It's on this candle here. Right, it opens up 10.45, closes at 10.50. This bad boy, it don't move, but it moves enough in our favor. I take a contract where I'm able to add 2 contracts. I only had $100 left. I add 2 contracts. It moves slowly in our favor, and we get out. And that's how we finished the day. You can see it there. $2.65. I tell you, y'all, it wasn't pretty, but I'll take it. It wasn't a big win, but we still moved in the right direction. It was not a pretty one. It was an ugly one, but I'll take it. Anyway, y'all, that's how the day went. And we'll be back at this Monday for day 111. All right, y'all. Peace.